I really want to ask people of color, like, what does Independence Day means for them? Like, they should do an essay. I want to know, because, like, when we were younger and we were growing up, we celebrated Independence Day because that's what our families did. It was like, oh, we're going to be eating, we're going to be having fun. I mean, that was just something that we did for fun. We didn't really know what it meant to celebrate Independence Day. Now, we learned the ish in school, but we wasn't really paying attention. We were just trying to get our grade, pass the class, pass whatever test it was that it was on, and move on. So as you start getting older, then we start questioning, why do we celebrate Independence Day? What does it mean for us to celebrate Independence Day? Independence was a Declaration of Independence written for the 13 colonies to separate from Britain in 1776. Now, in 1776, my ancestors were considered to be like cattle, property. We were still being enslaved, beaten, raped, lynched, whatever the case, whatever it is. We weren't considered to even be free at this point. We weren't free from America until 1865. The final day of freedom was in the year of 1865. From Great Britain, slavery was abolished in 1807, in May 1807. So still more than a few decades before America abolished slavery. Yet here we are assisting and helping these people, supporting them in their independence. We weren't more independent or free than anybody in 1776. Okay, so I'm like, how did it become something that we adopted? How did our ancestors, after our ancestors of slavery, how did those ancestors, what did they learn from their ancestors? Because it's generation from generation. So from being taught to something, how did we adopt to celebrate their independence? Because it is not our independence. We were still enslaved. We had no freedom. We had no independence from slavery in 1776. A lot of our people would fight in the war to see if it would grant them freedom from enslavement. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't for a lot. And of course, some people will argue and or can argue to say that they celebrated for them. They celebrated as a day, just for them to be having fun and happy with their family. But when you're celebrating a holiday or a day of meaning, it should mean something to you based on why that day is actually celebrated. So why do people of color, especially black people or people who were enslaved, have ancestry, history of being enslaved? Why do we why do we feel so happy about celebrating independence? I stopped celebrating Independence Day a long time ago, so I don't celebrate it, and it's been years that I just stopped celebrating it. But it's just so crazy. I'm just asking that question, why?